Thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone this evening and call the meeting to order. The time is 5:04 and the date is November 6th, and this is the first meeting. We have 2 meetings each month. This is the first meeting for the month of November 2019. Dave, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Genowine? Here. Mr. Mahoney?
Here.
Mr. Crandall?
Here.
Simcoe? Here.
Okay, could you rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the October 1st meeting.
I had submitted some edits. Were those able to get in there, or?
Where did you submit them?
I didn't get them, John, if you did.
I think I responded Monday of this week and asked if something could be added.
I didn't get those.
Okay.
Well,
We can wait.
why don't we just delay again? I lost track. Were you there at that meeting?
We were.
All three of us were there at that
Yep.
meeting. And then I don't think you were here on the 15th, right?
Correct.
Okay. Let's delay that again. I don't remember. But maybe I wasn't covered.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we'll delay that. How about the October 15th minutes?
I'll offer the October 15th minutes as presented.
Second?
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
I wasn't here, abstain.
Oh, okay, see, Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have any deletions or changes to the agenda, or people signed up for agenda items? Okay, thank you. Zoning Department, Daryl?
Good evening.
Evening.
I've got 2 resolutions this evening. The first one is 19128, authorization of abatement of vegetation and or debris. This is for the property at 5239 Janet Avenue.
Any questions of Daryl? I'll move resolution 19128, authorization of abatement of vegetation and debris.
Second?
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes. Daryl,
Thank you.
next item?
My next item is Resolution 19121, prohibition of medical marijuana cultivators, processors, and retail dispensary establishments licensed under Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 3796, within Sylvania Township. This is our annual moratorium. Townships cannot have a moratorium for more than 1 year, so this is our 3rd time considering a moratorium on medical marijuana, unless the trustees want to look at zoning regulations to permit medical marijuana in Sylvania.
Well, I think we had this on October 15th, and because you weren't here, we delayed it to this meeting. Any discussion or ideas?
I mean, looking at some of our agricultural areas, and I think Neil, talking to Oliver, you had brought up the licenses.
Yeah.
Are mostly gone in the state, so having a dispensary in our community is kind of ruled out, but, I didn't know if it was needed for us to continue with these moratoriums or kind of, handle it on a case-by-case basis as it comes before us in the future and not limit ourselves with the moratorium.
Well, my feeling is we've done it 2 years, and I don't think there's not a great deal of these licensed anyway.
Yeah.
And if somebody really needs it, Sylvania allows it in their industrial area.
Well,
I'm not sure about the labs and that, but the dispensaries they allow in the industrial area. I don't know, I don't think it's really hurt us. We don't get sales tax or anything on it. It's a little different for the municipalities, if I understand it right.
There's
And
no-
I'm okay just keeping, I think, the moratorium. Go ahead.
Well, we can always withdraw the resolution if some super cool project came up that we needed. Just,
Yeah.
we can always keep it for another moratorium, or if somebody, if a farmer came to us and said they've got a permit magically out of the sky, then we could reconsider it.
Are the permits to grow exhausted too in the state, or just the dispensary?
I don't think so.
How would you look at that?
I don't think those have been issued yet. I don't think.
The only permits that I researched pertain to the dispensaries.
Okay.
The other facilities, that's not something that I have knowledge about.
And if we were going to consider that, it seems to me we ought to look at our, rather case by case, we ought to look at our zoning and say, I'm just making this up, but maybe you could do it in an industrial area, provided you're so far from the schools and all that stuff. Which Springfield has something that Daryl sent us. I think it allows dispensaries and I think it allows testing labs. I'm not sure about growing it, I don't remember. But they have changed their zoning, parking requirements, and I think they kept the same thing the state has for distance from schools. Do you know, Daryl, if that's...
Right, yeah, they've got the state requirements as far as cannot be within 500 feet of a
Yeah.
public school, park, library, church. But then they also have it as a conditional use for medical marijuana facilities within certain designated zone
Do
districts.
they allow growing? I think they have labs, dispensaries, but I'm not sure about the growing, whether they had that or not.
Yes,
And I can-
it looks like they allow all of them, cultivator, dispensary, processor, testing laboratory.
Well, I'm sure you guys are aware, I'd rather put a moratorium out there on assisted living homes as we continue to struggle with our responses to those entities, and certainly would, but if we want to continue the moratorium, I'm okay with it, but I just wonder why we're doing it. If number one, we don't have anybody knocking on our door for it, and number two, you hate to discourage people from looking at us, but
Yeah, but
I don't think it matters
I just
one way or
have a
another.
fear that when they knock on the door and then you try to do something, it might be too late. If we're going to consider it, I think we should ask the staff to. Personally, I don't think it's hurt us at all in the last 2 years. And no one's licensed. Anyway, the closest one's Toledo, I believe, on Sylvania Avenue.
Right.
And I don't think there's any others in the county, is that right?
Maumee, I'm not
Is
sure if
there
they're up
one
and
now?
running yet, but it was approved.
I wasn't aware of that.
I'm comfortable going either way, I just wanted to have the discussion.
I'm comfortable either way too, so.
Well, I'll make the motion then, that we continue the prohibition for 1 more year. And it would be Resolution 19-121.
Second.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daryl. Yeah, I appreciate the background stuff you gave the board, Springfield.
Very much so.
Oliver?
Good evening, trustees. There are two resolutions under the administrative category, 19-129 and 19-130, both pertaining to the Special Energy Improvement District. If it pleases the trustees, Attorney Daryl is here tonight to present on these issues.
Hi, John.
Good evening, hello. 19-129 is a levy, an additional special assessment for the YMCA of Greater Toledo. As you recall, you joined the Energy Special Improvement District. It was a couple of years ago. That's a program that's run by the Port Authority. They grant loans for energy improvements, and they're paid back through their taxes. The only role the township has is to levy the assessment on the taxes. The township has no There's every control over it. If it's not paid, you don't lose any money. It's just to levy the assessment. They came before you at the beginning of the year, but they underestimated the amount they were going to need. All this resolution is increasing the amount that's being allowed in the amount of the assessment that you will put on the tax bill.
And that's really for the YMCA?
So right. Yeah. It's for energy improvements. It's about $800,000.
And we already approved this?
We already approved the lower amount. When they went to do the project, they realized they didn't have enough. So you have to pass another resolution for the increased amount, because it's the trustees that put the assessment on the tax duplicates, even though you have no responsibility to collect it, and if they don't pay it, you have no financial responsibility to pay it.
Any questions for John? Neil? John? Okay, I'll move resolution 19-129, levying additional special assessments for the Young Man's Christian Association of Greater Toledo project.
Second?
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
19-130 is to appoint a representative to the Special Energy Improvement District. Each member, Gwinnett Township, is entitled to one representative. I have been doing it since the township joined. I'm willing to do it again, but I will do whatever the trustees want to do. I mean,
I'll second that.
you want somebody else to do it, I won't be offended. So whatever you, it made some sense in the beginning because it was a legal process that I helped set
I was
up.
going to say, I didn't remember we made a...
Yeah, and it's not the type of board that sets policy or anything that really binds the township. We mostly just sit there and listen to reports and how our bonds are doing, things of that nature. Again, I'll do whatever the trustees want me to do.
Well, just to open it up for discussion, I'll move resolution 19-130, a resolution to appoint John Burrell as our representative to the Special Energy Improvement District.
Second?
Any discussion?
Do we want Oliver, or do we stick with John? I mean, I'm comfortable either one, I just,
I just think in this case, you've been doing it, and this is the only one we have, right?
Yes.
I think it allows others, but I think...
Yeah, if you want me to do it, and then as Oliver gets more experience substituting for me, I'll do it as long as short as you want me to do it.
Okay.
Should we let
Isn't the gas station at Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania, is that in one as well? Did they do?
Yes, there's one over here on Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
This is the second one.
Oh, okay, how was it?
The first one, but you joined because, I think it was Lacana, wanted to do it.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you joined.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the resolution before us, or you've seconded, so we would take a vote on Mr. Burrell doing it?
Okay, Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, GB.
Do we have anybody signed up for non-agenda items? Okay, thank you. Next, I'll make a motion to go into executive session for collective bargaining.
You want to talk about the upcoming?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the announcements and discussion, board discussion. One announcement we want to make is the hearing, and Oliver may want to add to this, but for the annexation, the hearing for Country Walk Plat 6 was moved from October 29th to November 19th. Oliver, do you have anything you want to add to that? That's the city's annexation project.
You're correct, Mr. Chairman. The hearing is rescheduled to Tuesday, November 19th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's held in front of the Lucas County Commissioners on the first floor of One Government Center in downtown Toledo.
And I think you sent out a letter to residents notifying of that change, correct?
Correct. There was a reminder letter which was processed today, and the residents will be receiving that. That's specific to the roughly 30 properties in the Country Walk Plat 6 area. After the meeting was rescheduled, we reached out to those who were in communication with the township and had demonstrated the most interest to advise them of the change. And as noted in other communications, the residents within Country Walk Plat 6 have been advised that if they wish, they would still be able to remove their name from the petition if they signed.
What time is the meeting on the 19th?
is at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
I was thinking it was 3, thank you. I don't know if you want to address this yet, we got just a notification today, and I would call it unofficial. I mean, it's not an annexation yet, but we got a map from Sylvania showing some other areas they're thinking about. Have you seen it yet?
No, but I
It just came in today, and didn't you have a meeting with Bill Sanford, or was that on something else?
Correct. This was a conversation that we had following the Chamber of Commerce Economic Luncheon, and I was advised by Mr. Sanford that letters are being mailed out to roughly 100 property owners of about 71 parcels which adjoin the Country Walk Plat 6 area. So this is a strip of parcels to the east of what is the subject of the meeting on the 19th, and it also wraps around to the south of Country Walk Plat 6. So between what's in front of the commissioners on the 19th, as well as this next round of letters, it's roughly 104, 105 parcels in total.
I didn't think that map was too detailed, I just glanced at it. Maybe, what does the board think about, maybe you could report back to us? I don't know if you can do it by the next meeting, but it's not a real formal, and, it doesn't have a boundary, it just shows a bunch of areas. Well, I think you could clarify that with the city and report back to us, maybe,
Most certainly.
by the next meeting. Let's try to do that. If you can't get it done by then, we'll just delay it. I don't know that I quite understand it. I'm glad they're letting us know what they're doing, but it's kind of vague what I saw, so. Have you had a chance to look at that?
No.
You two haven't.
I had a conversation with Oliver this afternoon, and, one of the things that I brought up to him is, again, I don't know what role we're going to have in this process. It seems minimal, but I really strongly encourage the Sylvania CIC to really get involved in this and to look at the long-term effects and long-term process that the city's going to go in. Certainly if they keep going after 100 parcels a year, it's going to put a dent in our budgets and things, and again, telling us the day they mailed out the notices is certainly an improvement from where we've been at, but it's still not where we need to be. And as much things as we do jointly and cooperatively with the city of Sylvania, I think having a 5-year, 10-year plan isn't something that's not unreasonable. So I strongly encourage the members of the CIC to kind of push the city to kind of give us some sort of long-term planning on this.
I don't know if they would tackle that or not, but certainly I agree with you, John. All the things we cooperate on, and we only have one source of income, they have several. And to take our income away from us and not use their other sources just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And at least this last annexation, the commissioners have the ability to rule what's good for the area. This isn't where they've got 100%. So I'm not willing at this point to give up. I think we've got to really dig in it. I mean, they're taking our only source of income, and yet they come back to us all the time wanting to cooperate, and we've done that with the rec district. I just don't know if we could ask CIC, I don't know that they'd want to get into the middle between the township and city.
Well, I mean, that organization represents the entire community, and I think there's no better place to start than that because of the cooperation and joint involvement there. I mean, I know it's a little bit, tension, but still, it's something that we need to address, because certainly fighting with the residents of Country Walk or someone else down the road isn't alleviating any of that stress or pressure on our residents, so.
Well, we could certainly ask them. I don't want to prejudge it, but we could certainly ask them. What do you think, Neil? Maybe there's another group, but I
See, I
don't,
mean, I'm not sure I'm not sure the CIC is a funding mechanism for new projects. So it's really not
well, it is.
so it's really, it's really not
I mean, I thought it was to build the base of the community, for the tax support and that sort of thing, and
that's a
again,
funding mechanism. They're basically a bank. They're taking a position they're taking a financial position like we did with Kripke. They borrowed $100,000, we gave them a low interest rate to
So what if,
borrow.
well, that's where I disagree, that government shouldn't be involved in the lending.
Well, we're making money off it. It's an interest rate.
Again, I don't think that's the role of government.
Well, I know
That's a
a lot
whole
of debate.
philosophical.
what if we said, we'd like to request the CIC or some other, I get your point. We've been working for 3 years between the city and township, and we could vary how that's going, but in my mind, I don't know if we're dragging our feet or they are, but we haven't gotten anywhere in 3 years. Maybe it's time to ask some neutral party to see if we can resolve this. I don't like where we're going. Instead of working together now, we're really at loggerheads on this. That's my feeling. What do you think?
I don't disagree
Would
with
that
that.
work with you,
Yeah,
to say
I
the
mean-
CIC or other,
Yeah,
if we can find somebody else, I don't know, to,
Yeah, I don't think they're not telling us anything now. It's a good
No,
sign
they're
that
telling us.
I think we just kind of wait and see how our attorneys do. It's in 2 weeks. I think, I feel like the political pressure of these county commissioners, they're gonna have, the potential of them having blood on their hands is very high, because when we have future levies as a result of annexation, our citizens have been negatively impacted. That's a fact.
I think we're all together.
Yeah, so I guess the reason, I mean, I'm more than happy to talk to CIC at a later date, but I'd like to see how we do the 19th.
Was that okay with you? What if
Yeah.
we put it off till after
Yeah.
the 19th? When last, Oliver, could we put it on the agenda for a meeting after the 19th? And maybe informally, you could talk to CIC or see if there's another, we certainly are not, I'm disappointed in the progress after 3 years. It's kind of hard to point to anything, and we've given them, I think, two possibilities, Oliver, and right now I feel like they're dragging their feet. We got 2 projects, right, that we're talking about, and they've been slow to respond, let's just put it that way.
And to confirm the direction, that would be to return this issue to a meeting during December, either the 3rd or the 17th, I believe.
Yep.
And then to
Be fine.
approach the CIC or possibly other entities.
And John, do you mind if, and Neil, if he informally talks, maybe CIC would tackle it? They've done other studies.
and didn't they do the merger study?
No, wait a minute.
They did. I was on the board.
Yeah, I think maybe you're right.
Yeah, so I think
Yes, they
this is
did
a
do
perfect
that.
place for it.
And they've
so-
done 2 school studies that I know. of.
Yeah.
Those aren't popular. So they have taken on issues besides just lending money.
Anything else?
Any other discussion? Anything you have, Neil?
I do not.
Anything? Congratulations.
Well,
Neil,
thank
by
you.
the way.
Thank you.
Mr. Simcoe, congrats as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, he had a tough race there. Just has to show up. And by the way, I did notice, your signs are pretty well done, and Bud, your signs are down. We really appreciate that. Sometimes it's 2 weeks later and our zoning department's on people to get the signs done. I would compliment you both, you're right on it. I went by the polling places, not all signs were clears, but Bud, yours were, and yours were too, and I sure appreciate that. I know Daryl does, it's us fellow.
Makes it easier to see the got junk sign, so thanks.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll move on to a motion to go into executive session for collective bargaining, all departments. And joining us on that would be Janet, Oliver, and I think police and fire for that one. And the other item is pending or imminent court action, and John Burrell, or the prosecutor's office, will be joining us on that. And I think that's the police department. And we'll get those exact names to you for the minutes.
You have a second? Second, okay. Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes, and the time on that is 5:27. Hey, remind me to tell you something. Do you know, what's his name, Ken Fallis? You know him?
The recorder's on, guys, everybody knows.
Okay. Oh, we're live.
Okay, I'll move that we come out of executive session at 7:20. No action to be taken.
Second?
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes. And I'll move at 7:26, we adjourn.
Second?
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes,
All right.
adjourn.